Right. Hi everyone. Things have changed quite a bit. That's because this is actually not a continuation of the previous game. It's an old saved game that I was working on months ago. I'm just going to use it to show you a few things. First of all, these wireless power towers, they're like larger versions of the Tesla tower. They can actually, they're like long distance power lines. And what's neat about them is they'll actually charge Icarus's battery if you're standing next to them, which is why I've placed a bunch there. Usually from flying from planet to planet, the battery on Icarus is usually pretty low. So right now I've got some hydrogen fuel rods equipped, and they're doing a pretty good job of filling up my battery at the bottom there. But if I stand in the middle of all these, you can see that my energy is filling up within seconds, and it's full now. So, and then the little animation stops because it's not charging me anymore. And why do I have them in this shape? Well, as you see, if I hover over one, you can see a circle. If that circle is touching Icarus, then that tower is going to charge him using power from the grid. And if you make this shape, you can actually get 12 of these towers touching Icarus all at the same time, and 12 of them charging him. So I usually make one of these little landing pads on each planet, so that I have a place where I can quickly charge my battery after flying through space. Now, a couple things here. What are all these bins? Well, you might find that you're carrying a bunch of stuff around in your inventory that you don't really want to carry around, and you don't immediately need, but you don't want to destroy it because you're going to need it later. I came up with this idea that you could put a bunch of storage depots down and kind of make like this warehouse area just to store stuff. Right now I'm going to grab some fuel rods because we're going to be flying through space, and I want to make sure that Icarus has lots of energy. We're also going to be attacking the dark fog. So I'm going to pick up maybe 6 stacks of missiles, and I'll match that with the Magnum ammo. And we're going to need some fuel, so this energetic graphite will serve us well. So what I want to show you, the point of this video is to show you how to attack a dark fog base that's on a planet. And in order to completely explain that, I have to show you first what foundation is. So over here I have a bunch of bins full of foundation. It's a healthy little amount. It took a long time to make because it uses this steel, and this steel takes 3 iron to make one of these steel, so it uses a lot of iron, and that's why it takes a long time to build this up. What do you use it for? Well, you can see some of it here. This brick on the ground is foundation. But basically, say I want to build something here, but there's water. Well, the 9th button on the bar at the bottom is for environmental modification. And then I can click on my foundation. Now you get this overlay. So if you hit the minus key on the keyboard, you can shrink it right down to 1. I don't know why you'd want to, but you can. And then you hit the plus sign on the keyboard and it goes up to a 10 by 10 square. And if I put it over the water here, it's saying that it's going to consume 3,214 soil piles. So this is another pane that Icarus has to manage. At the bottom here you can see I have 90,000 soil piles, which isn't very much. So if I click on this, I lose some soil, but it levels out the ground so I can build on it. So if I don't have any soil, then I can't use foundation. And it just makes it look like the surrounding area, but you can change it to look like brick by clicking on this button that says lay foundation with decoration. Well, the brick apparently is the decoration, and if you don't decide later you don't like that, you can click on the button beside it, lay foundation without decoration, and just turn it back into that, and it doesn't even consume more foundation. So how do you get soil? Well, do you see these trees here? They're kind of propped up on a hill. If you use foundation to flatten that out, it's going to give me 8,600 soil. This one's 4,000, this one's 6, another 6,000. So you end up doing crazy things like leveling out the ground just so that you can get the soil. And yeah, that's what ends up happening. So I have 133,000, and I'm actually going to go up to maybe 150. Because, so why am I telling you this if I'm talking about attacking a base? Because you need, when you destroy the base, it leaves a big hole in the ground. And you need to use foundation to fill that hole, because if you don't, the dark fog is going to rebuild that base within minutes. That's why. And it takes, I've seen it take like 160,000 soil to fill those holes sometimes. So we're gonna see, if we have enough. But anyway, it's time to take off here. So if you've researched it, you can hit the spacebar twice, like a double tap, and now you're flying. And I'm just using the W key on the keyboard, which drives me forward, and then I'm holding the mouse wheel like a button, and wherever I look, because I'm pressing the W key, wherever I look with the mouse, Icarus is going to fly towards. So how do we go into space? Well, you press the space bar. I know, that was bad, but it's true. You press and hold the space bar, and cruise mode. Now I'm in cruise mode, and I'm leaving the planet now. And out here is space, and that hive over there is very dangerous. You don't want to get too close to it, otherwise you'll get attacked and killed. Now you can see behind the sun it says Cursa 4. That's a planet that's kind of way behind the sun, and that's where I want to take us, and it's way back there, 3.45 astronomical units. So to accelerate, you can press the shift key. I'm pressing and holding the shift key, and you can see my power draining, right? So it's draining and draining, and I want to get there quickly, so I'm going to go to about 15,000 meters per second. I'm pretty sure this is not to scale, but you get the point. And I'm holding the W key on the keyboard, so anywhere I point the mouse, Icarus is just going to turn and fly towards that. So I've got this planet in my sights, and we're flying towards it. And it's really important to note that you don't want to use your entire battery, because what's happened to me in the past is I've missed the planet. I've overshot the planet, and I didn't have any battery left to turn around, and I flew way out into space before I could fix anything. So I still have a healthy amount of battery, so I'm going to bump this up to 2,000, which is the maximum. And I'm aiming right for this planet, and the plan is to just crash right into the middle of it. I'm not going to get damaged, but I absolutely do not want to fly past this thing. And then, see? And it looks like I landed right by a base here. Okay. So, here it is. Those are the guys that we need to get. So how do we do this? I'm going to build a little attack base. So I'm going to start by clicking on the 7th button, which is defense, and I'm going to select the missile turret. And I'm just going to build this thing. So let's line it up on the grid, and I'm going to put another one right beside it as close as possible. So there's 2 now. Now, we have to work within some limits here. Now I plan on powering this entire base using one thermal power plant. So it can generate 2.16 megawatts, and these missile turrets each take 600 kilowatts. So these 2 missile turrets is roughly half of the power that we have to work with. So I'm not going to put any more missile turrets, but I'm going to click on the 7th button again. I'm going to put the gauze turrets down right behind it. I'm going to put 3 of them. So I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, and they're as close together as I can squeeze them. And now we got to think how we're going to feed these. So I'm going to get a bin here. Again, I'll put it as close as I can. We're going to use a green belt here to feed these gauze turrets. Green belts are twice as fast as the regular belts. And I'm going to use a Mark II sorter to feed that belt from the depot. And that one's done, but we got to do the same thing on the other side here and feed the missiles now. So let's get another belt down. Let's get it going into the missiles. And let's get that sorter there. Now I got to put down the thermal power plant, which is going to power all this. Make sure the belt is going in the right direction, and put the sorter, and then I'm going to put a depot. I might move it up, and sorter from the depot onto the belt. And The other thing that's important not to forget is a Tesla tower, so that all this stuff is connected to the grid. And another thing that's really important, if you look at the way this is built right now, this is not going to work, because if I put the fuel in this middle depot here, the sorter has no power. It has no power because the thermal power plant has no fuel. So it's kind of a catch-22. To get things kicked off, we're actually going to need a wind turbine. So this, I think, will work like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on the blueprint, and then we're going to click on the scissors, and we're going to lasso this. I'm going to give it a thumbnail, maybe just a missile turret, and I'm going to call it attack demo. And I'm going to save the blueprint, save changes, escape, escape, escape. And now I'm going to hit X on the keyboard. I'm going to hold the shift, and I'm going to start taking all this down now, because this is not where we want to put it. We were just creating a blueprint for it. And now I'm going to zoom out as much as I can, and I'm going to kind of sneak up on this base, try to get as close to it as I can without them coming at me. And just from experience, we're getting pretty close to the limit here. And we're going to get ready to put down our attack demo. So I just went back into the blueprint book and double clicked on our new blueprint. And I'm going to put it, I think, I'll put it right there. And as soon as I click the button, it's go time. And we got to move quickly. So the plan is the energetic graphite is fuel, goes in the middle bin. The bullets go in the left bin, and the missiles go in the right bin. So, and hopefully this works. So here we go, let's see what happens. So let's get the fuel, let's get some bullets, and let's get some missiles, and there it goes. I think while they're doing that, I'm going to try to get another one down here. Hopefully I'm not getting too aggressive here. Yeah. So they got some kind of massive cannon that if you get too close before destroying that cannon, it causes a lot of problems for you. Here it goes. So this is, so the base core is gone, and I can probably break down this base over here. I'm just holding shift, clicking on everything. Some pieces on the ground there. And then, you know what, I'll just seal the deal. I'll put another one down here. Oh, and looks like they have some kind of weapon there still. Anyway, it's completely gone, and now it's saying I have to fill the core, and it's taking 99,452 soil to do that. So I'm just going to click on my environment button, which is button number 9 at the bottom, and the first button in the list is a foundation, and I'm going to click on it, because look up here, you can kind of see it. He's still there, hey? That's a relay station, and it will rebuild that base if we don't fill this in. So I'm going to fill it in, and that relay station's gonna leave, and they won't rebuild that base, at least not for a while. And I'm gonna break all this down, take it with me, and that's that. Like, that's how you do it. You're gonna have to do that on your home planet. So I kind of highly recommend getting missile turrets and missiles before attempting that. Anyways, hope you like the video.